Wow. Okay. Um, Lost the feed here, guys. Lost the feed. Let me see if we got it. Um, okay. Hey, Chris, how you doing? We lost the feed. I don't know what the heck happened here. Um, it's back on now. It's back on now. I have no idea what happened there. Okay, there we go. We got people. Yeah, we got people coming back. We got people coming back. Hey, everybody. Well, I have no idea what the hell happened there. That sucks. Oh man, there's nothing worse than the tech gremlins, as Chris is putting it. They're messing with me today. Really sorry about that, but don't worry. We're going to continue to move on here. I see that the event ended on Facebook and YouTube across the channels, but we're back on now, and we'll get back to business here really quick. So if you are just rejoining us, I'm sorry that happened, guys. We got to figure out what is going on here, and I don't know if it's OBS is having trouble. I don't think it is, or Restream is giving me some problems, and if it is, we'll have to have a chitty chat with Restream there. But in the meantime, I want to get back to everything else here. So let me just double check a couple of things here, guys. So if you are watching, please give me a shout out. There's definitely a channel. There's definitely something going on here. Hold on. There we go. Yep, it's on. Everything's on live. It's all going now. So nothing to worry about. Everybody is good. There we are. Yep, I'm watching it right there. Everybody got kicked off, so it's gonna take a few minutes for everybody to come back and find us here again. No idea what happened there. So again, if you're just joining me, I'm really sorry that happened, guys. Sometimes we get tech gremlins, and I can't even tell you why that is. But everything, it always looks great, and then somebody, something screws up, and well, what are you gonna do, right? Anyway, we got to figure that out. Maybe it's time to readjust the old internet access. I don't think that was the case here. I think it was something else that did this, but any case. Okay, so if you guys can see it, everything's looking good. Give me a shout out. I'm really sorry yet again that's happening, that happened. My bad, everybody. Bear with me. I'm just going through and making sure that we are good to go across the board here. It's annoying AF that this happens. So very sorry about that. Anyway, okay, there we go. I see you there. Okay, Quicksilver, I see you. All right. Chris, thank you very much for attending. Okay, Paul, it's working great. Thank you, Paul, for letting me know. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see. We're back up on the NUX channel. That's good to know. I know we're back up there. I saw it a minute ago. I'm just going through everybody here. Trey, how you doing? I promise we'll be back up and running in just a minute. I got to figure out just to make sure everything is groovy. And it appears that we're in good shape. Okay. All right, good. So, in any case, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program here. Again, if you're just joining us now, I'm really sorry that that happened. Sometimes this crap happens, and you just got to work with it. And I don't know if it's because of OBS or if it's because of Restream, but let's get back to it, okay? So we were checking out the Super Mini chorus. We were on the chorus version. So we have a really nice dreamy sound there, don't we? right, so we got some nice sounds going on there. Okay, let's switch modes though, and let's go to pitch modulation. And let's also switch scenes here. Maybe not. It always sounds better when you put some reverb behind it, doesn't it? What do you guys think? Give me a shout out. I know people are there again. I'm sorry we ran into that technical difficulty, but we're all there. Okay, so we got that pitch modulation. I'm going to go ahead and go over to the flanger, because who doesn't like a good flanger? Okay, you know we got to try this with a little bit of distortion. Let's turn that reverb down. Yeah, we got to be a little careful with the intensity. And the width, let's pull that back a little bit. So it's a really nice, just a nice all-around chorusing and modulation pedal. Really, really love this one. So I'm going to go ahead and just move on over to the Ukiyo-E. And the Ukiyo-E is, as I stated before, it's more of an exploration in chorusing and modulation. So the sound, it's a chorus, of course, obviously. But we have three different choruses. We've got the stereo chorus, we've got the SCH1, and we've got the CE1 that you can toggle through all of them. And the sound is pretty straightforward here. Now, when you're in SCH1, the intensity knob acts as a tone switch or a tone knob. We'll get to that in a second, but let's have a listen to. Yep, okay. Let me bring up the intensity here. A really nice shimmery sound there. Now, if you want to change the time, you can just use the Smart Tap Tempo. of course, when you mix it in with the reverb, just a wonderful, beautiful sound. I just love it. Okay. Anyway, so you got that one. And then, so let's go to the SCH1. And when you've got the SCH1 selected, the intensity knob becomes a tone knob. So let me turn off the microphone so we can have a listen to that one. Okay, you knew I was going to throw in a Rush riff in there somewhere, right? But in fact, actually, I got to tell you, the SCH1's honestly one of my favorites. Okay, and now let's go ahead and move on over to the CE1. Now, I see a lot of questions are coming in. That's great. Keep the questions coming in. Keep them coming in. And towards the end, I'm going to circle back. I'm going to highlight them, and we're going to talk about them, okay? So here's the CE1. So this is modeled after the Boss chorus ensemble, and it's a really nice, just overall smooth chorus. Let's have a listen to some of the things we can do with it, yeah? So anyway, there you go. I do love the way it sounds, and having that smart tap tempo is just fantastic. It just makes life so much easier. Now, let's move on to the damp, because I've been using that this whole time. The damp has 3 different types of reverb. You've got plate, you've got spring, and you've got hall. And you have 3 different knobs. You have decay, you have level, and you have, of course, tone, where you can affect the tonality of the reverb reflections. And I think, you know, if you have a pedal board, people always have like really weird opinions about reverb, and I'm not quite sure why. Reverb is like one of those essentials, like I have to have reverb. If I don't have reverb, I am just boned. I mean, yes, there's something to be said for obviously playing in a big, large hall. At that point, reverb might not be that important, but when you're just in this little tiny room here and you just want to get a nice big cavernous sound, accept no substitutes, right? And let's just take a listen through the different ones. And by the way, something else I forgot to mention here. Now, this is, again, one of the things I just love about our developers' tongue-in-cheek sense of humor. Hold for surprise. I wonder what that could be. A little bit of shimmer there. How about that, right? And you get a different type of shimmer with the hall with the plate than you do with the hall or the spring. So it's a really nice sound. So let's have a listen to this real quick. Let me kill the mic and have a listen. Oh, come on, that's gotta give you the chills, just a little bit, right? Okay, let's swing up to the spring now. Spring reverbs. I have a love-hate relationship with spring reverbs. Why would I say that? Why would I make such a silly statement like that? Because I grew up with Fender Sidekick reverbs. My Fender Sidekick Reverb 25 is still here in my house. It's not in this room, but it is here in my house, and I love the sound of a good spring reverb. And that was always one of my favorites, and this one is pretty darn good. Of course, I'm not playing my Strat right now. I probably should, but my Strat's all tuned into G there, so it'll sound a little weird. But let me turn that decay down a little bit because we don't need that much. But have a listen to this one. Bring that decay up just a tad, a little bit of tone, make it drip. Oh yeah, smoke them if you got them. And of course, let's see what the hold for surprise will give us. Isn't that just sweet? I do love the way that sounds. Nice. Okay, so there's the spring. Now let's get to the hall. And let's take a listen to what the hold for surprise will bring us this time. Ooh, I think I just got chills on that one. That was a nice one. I switched to the bridge. I switched to the neck pickup. Just brought that reverb in. That's nice. Yeah, I think this is going to be one to beat. At this price, what these things do, I think it's just fantastic. Okay, so last but not least, let's talk about the pulse. Okay, now the pulse, I'm going to turn off the reverb because we're not going to need it for this section of the demo. And in fact, actually, I'm going to go analog on everyone. Normally I would try to move my camera around, but you know, I'm just not going to do that today. All right, moving all the way to the right here. Here is the pulse. All right, the pulse is a impulse response loader for electric guitar, for acoustic guitar, and for bass. So what do I mean by impulse response? Well, hopefully you guys know what the impulse responses are, but if you don't, impulse response is a sample of a speaker or a sample of a guitar in the case of acoustic guitars. And what you can do is sample the speaker of your favorite cabinet. So any cabinet that you want, and you can then apply that to your amplified sound, so that in essence you don't have to schlep around a cabinet everywhere you go. You can take all of your cabinets with you. Now the cool thing about the pulse is we've got a lot of really great impulse responses already loaded up in there, and we've got it for electric guitars. So we have a JC 120, we have 112, we have 112s, we got 410s, we've got of course 4x12s, all that great stuff. But you can also load in your own instead if you want to. There is an included editor where you can bring in your own impulse responses, and the impulse response is as good as you want it to be, right? So there are literally hundreds, if not thousands of them out there. Some of them are free, some of them are paid for. I bought quite a few off of Celestian's website because I happen to like the sound of the Laneys and the orange and the Vox. I love the sound of a good Vox. But in any case, you can apply that to whatever you like. Now, there are impulse responses already included for electric guitar. There are also impulse responses for bass guitar as well. So we took a lot of the bass cabinets and we popped them into the pulse. And then we also have the acoustic guitar. Now, what is that all about? Well, that's very simple. If I'm using an acoustic guitar impulse response, I can apply it to my electric and make it sound like an acoustic guitar. Now, I'm using it with the Amp Academy and it's a little funky. So I can give you kind of a demonstration of what it sounds like, but it's not gonna sound as good as I honestly would like it to. But the idea here with the impulse response for acoustic guitars is plugging in your Yamaha and making it sound like a Taylor or a Martin or a Gibson. And does it sound like smoke and mirrors? It might, but it's not. We've actually had the acoustic impulse responses, the bass cabinet impulse responses in the previous version of this pedal called the Mini Studio. But in this case, the Pulse is an update. It has been updated. It also has stereo IOs as well. So really, you're getting a pretty massive upgrade here. So how do we set it up with the Amp Academy? Because the Amp Academy is an impulse response loader. Well, it's very simple to do. Very simple to do. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this, pedal guy? Well, let me bring up the old projector here. And let me get out my trusty pen. So the problem is right here, is the impulse response, okay? So the impulse response is always active. And you can tell because the power is right here. But here's the thing you may not know about the Amp Academy is that if you go with the switch on the left in the back, it turns off the impulse response. So even though it's on here, you can see that the sound block is still on. It's actually bypassed now. So if I clear and close and, ooh, that definitely sounds like there ain't no impulse response there. What do you think? Yeah, that's some nasty stuff. Okay, but if we want to turn on the impulse response, here we go. Ba-boom! Okay, I haven't practiced that one in a really long time. Okay, but you're getting the point, right, guys? So from here, you've got your level. You've got your impulse response selection, but you also have your space. Now, this is where I did hear a very big difference in this pedal versus the previous version of the Mini Studio. The space knob really accentuates the amount of space between the microphone and the speaker. That's what it's simulating. So here's a quick demonstration. Let me kill the mic. So in essence, what you could do is you could turn on the damp to go along with it if you wanted to, and add some reverb if you wanted to. But really, what you can do is you can use the space knob on the pulse and add that space in the studio. The natural reverb sound, you can pop it in there. Now, of course, here's the question. How does it sound? Well, let's take a listen to some of these guys. Let me kill the mic. Okay, so now we're getting into the 212s. Okay, now we're getting into the 4x12s. So, sorry, got a little dryness there in the back of my throat. Okay, so here's another 4x12. So it sounds really good, but here's the thing. Sometimes you need to go to a little bit of an overdrive situation. Now, what we could also do is we could switch gears. We can go over to we can go to the dirty channel here. So let's go back to the Amp Academy really quick. Okay, so what I've done is I've switched over to the dirty channel here, and I am using a dual rectifier. I know you can't see it here, but that is the one that I am using, which sounds remarkably different. To definitely change around the impulse responses. So let me goof around with this one really quick. really love some of these IRs. Okay, so here's a really good example. I'm using the 212. I'm using a 212 with this amp, which I believe is the dual yeah, it's a dual rectifier. Doesn't quite work. I mean, it's a dark tone. It's trying to be a dark tone, but it's definitely got a lot of treble going on there in the background. So you could make this work, but you probably want to kill off some of the overdrive, the natural overdrive of the amp. The same thing goes if we go to, I say, the Vox 212. Well, no, that's actually a little better, isn't it? All right, so there you have it. What do you think of that, guys? What do you think of the pulse? It's pretty cool, right? So just to review what I did, let me go back to the other screen again here. Just to review very quickly what I did is I went and I turned off the impulse response part of the Amp Academy in order to use it with the pulse with the Amp Academy. So the way to do that, just again, so that you understand. Let me get my projector out here, my projector screen, so I can show you. So what we did is we bypassed the impulse response, and in doing that, I could then use the pulse, because the pulse is the impulse response replacement for the impulse response that's currently loaded up inside of the Amp Academy. Now, the cool thing about that is that even though this is on right here. It says it's on, and it is on, but it's actually been bypassed. And you're probably wondering, how is that possible? Well, right here in the back of the pedal, on the left-hand side, there is an impulse response bypass. So if you turn it off or on, you can see that the impulse response is now turned on. At that point now, you would not want to use it with the pulse, because you're going to get something that sounds pretty awful, frankly. I mean, that's Bass City right there. That doesn't sound good. So you want to use the actual impulse response. However, if you go back in and you turn it off, which is what I just did, if I now turn the pulse back on, then I've got a great sound. Now at that point, if I want to add, say, the Voodoo Vibe to that, doesn't that sound just awesome? I love the way that sounds. And I could then, move it over to, say, the Super Mini Chorus. Just not liking that too much. Really overloading the sound there. We go to Yukio. All right, and then of course you can add it in with the damp if you want to, although you're rubbing space into reverb. Of course, if you move to, say, the spring reverb, and and then move that space up a little bit. I do love the way that sounds. Okay, anyway, guys, that is what the mini cores are all about. So I'm going to definitely circle back with the edge delay when I do get more of them in, but I don't have any more at this point. I didn't have any at this point to pop in. So let me actually throw off my headphones here for a second so I can take the guitar off. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm actually going to show you something else today so that you can see it for yourself. Let's take a look at some of these comments here. So let me go back to the main screen here. Hi, this is what I look like in the full screen. How you doing? Very nice to see you. I'm going to go through here really quick and let's take a look at some of these guys here. Okay, Zella says, I'm here for all the pedals sound good. I'm here for the Pulse. Well, Zella, what did you think of the Pulse? Played the Pulse, used the Pulse, love the Pulse. It is a fantastic pedal. I think it's great. And hopefully, you'll be able to dig on that sucker. But in any case, there you have it. I love the new tool here. I found this. This is called Chat Ninja that I found for OBS, and it seems to be working really good. And I'm not getting any dropouts now, so I guess we're okay. So we'll have to figure out what that gremlin was all about later, next time around. But let's take a listen. Let's go back through some of the questions here because I still have all of the questions from earlier. I think I have some of them. Oh, no, I don't. Let's see. Quicksilver was hoping for a Verdugo series pedal. I'm not quite sure what you mean there, Quicksilver. Were you expecting these to all be in a Verdugo pedal? Well, some of them are. Well, at least some of the functionality is, at least. And we can talk about that. We can expand on that. Just give me a little bit more feedback on what you want to ask me there, and I'll try to. Okay. Yep. So Christopher also said there's a new firmware update for the Amp Academy. Yes, there is. It just came out today. So check it out. Let me know what you think. I hope it works out for you there, Chris. Okay, Kira. Hello, Kira. You just ordered a NUX analog chorus. Well, thank you very much. I hope it works out for you. It's a great chorus. It's a lot of fun to use. It's very straightforward, and I think, I think it's great. Here in the United States, we just got loaded into all Guitar Center stores across the country. So we now have 4 of the reissue pedals are now available in all Guitar Centers across the country, which was a lot of, pretty big job there. But I'm so excited to be a part of that. And I'm really, of course, loving all the stuff we're doing with what we're doing with our, our independent dealers as well. They all mean the world to me. And we have so many great ones out there and all that. But in any case, I really do think that you'll be able to actually check out, if you are in the United States and you want to check out the Steel Singer, the Plexi Crunch, the Analog Delayer, the Analog Chorus up close and personal. They're now available at every GC store across the country for you to demo quite easily. So I hope that works for you there. But Kira, let me know how that works out. I hope you enjoy it. I really do. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Quicksilver wrote a good one here. What is the pros and cons of the analog chorus? There seems to be a lot of overlap between pedals, the Rivulet, for example. Okay, but the Rivulet is digital. The Yukio-E is digital. The mini super chorus, it's all digital. Okay, so are you seeing a theme here? And the analog chorus, well, it's analog. So that's the main difference. And the thing is that with that pedal, you get that one, effect. Whereas with, like, say, Yukio or super chorus, you're going to get several different effects. However, here is the one thing, and this is a thing that does hang up people on the mini pedals, and I understand that you do need an external power source in order to run them, period. There's no battery for it. And for some people, that can be a turnoff. For some people, that could be a turn on. I don't know. It's up to everybody's got their own take on things. And with the analog reissue series, there's a battery port in there. You just take off the back and you can pop in a battery. So I hope that answers your question. But they are, I think the reissue pedals are fantastic. The Steel Singer, when I tried that one, love it. Sounds great. Okay, so there's that one. And I think actually Kira wrote that, did write in for that one. Okay, fantastic. All right. Okay, Chris, I know you're asking a lot of questions about the stereo. I want to talk about that in a quick second. But I just want to go through here and see what other questions there might be. Okay. Ronaldo asked a question. Can I import IRs from my iPad file to the Amp Academy? You know, the answer to that question is I don't honestly know if you can or not. I haven't tried it, to be honest. I'm going to have to give that a shot and see if you can. My guess is going to be no, that you can't do it initially. But it'd be great if you could. That would certainly make life a little easier for those of you out there that don't use a CPU, and you want to use your iOS device instead. But I honestly don't know. I'm going to have to look into that one. But that's a very good question. I will check, and we'll see what we got here. See, Dagger Guy, I have 3 NUX pedals. The Atlantic Reverb Delay. Oh, so do I. The Mod Core version 2. Yep, that one's really fun. And the Tape Core. And I love them all. That's great. I'm glad you like them. That's fantastic. And really, I really do hope you find all the success in the world with them, my friend. Let's see. I want to... okay. Okay, so Chris wrote another question here. Do you have the pedals in the loop or before the Amp Academy? I have it in the loop. So in this case, I used it in the loop exclusively. No mystery there on how that worked. And the reason I did that is pretty simple. So if we go back to, say, the Amp Academy, if you want to, you could move the send and return to before the amp and the impulse response. That sounds good for some of the modulation. May not sound good for the reverbs. I can almost guarantee it won't sound that good. But that's obviously something you can do if you'd like to. Okay. So Zella and Quicksilver wrote some feedback about the their favorite horror movies or their favorite Halloween movies. I'd like to put that out there. Just keep the conversation alive, everybody. It's Halloween time, as we know. It's October. What Halloween movies are you watching? Ooh, I don't have any scary stuff, but here. But let's see. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, I watched the new Hellraiser over the weekend, and well worth it. Well worth the wait. We have been waiting, good Lord, 30 years for a decent sequel to the original Hellraiser. And see, I love the old splatter films from the 80s. I vividly remember, bringing a copy of Hellbound, the second movie, to my mom in the video store the videotape store when we were renting one, and she took a look at it and had Pinhead, and it had the girl with the cut throat there as well on the cover, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to rent this for you or not," and I got away with it. When I saw everything else after, say, 3 was pretty much dog crap all the way through, and now the new one has really been reimagined. I thought it was just going to be a lame reboot or a remake of the original story, which, who wants to see that? But wow, did they do such a great job on that. I know I'm going way off topic here, but I have a very big love for horror films. Sometimes a remake, just a straight ahead traditional remake of a storyline, can be good. Like, say, Evil Dead was good. It wasn't great. The original one was probably the best of the bunch because, of course, they made it for Bupkis, and it was Sam Raimi at his grossest before he became Mr. A-lister with all the Spider-Man movies. But for the Hellraiser was really cool because they They found a female to play the role of Pinhead, or the Hell Priest, as she's supposed to be called. And it was just it's just gory and everything that I like about a good horror movie. So anyway, there you have it. Okay, if you have Hulu, watch it. If you're into those kind of films, you may like it. It's a lot of fun. And Quicksilver, of course, did write in and said he didn't know that there was. He's only seen the original of The Exorcist. Yes, there was a remastered, let's call it a remastered, remixed version of the movie that was released about 20 plus years ago. And they put a bunch of new images like the demon in the background and all that. And they remixed the audio for surround sound. Really good, because those mastered tapes were so bad. I have to imagine that the quality was pretty much crap, and they just made it sound beautiful. Okay, and then one of the last movies that jolted me, Event Horizon. Yep, okay, that's a good one too. Definitely a good spooky film for sure. It's a ghost story in space. Okay, we lost the feed there. Yeah, we know about that. Okay, I'm going to go through it here. I want to just keep going through the questions. Okay. Okay, Shea Bloom. If I'm mispronouncing your name, sorry about that. MG400. Well, I did do a full demonstration of the MG400. In fact, I did 2 sessions with the MG400. I did one last week with Addicted to Gear, Tony from Addicted to Gear. That was a lot of fun. And then I did one 2 weeks, I think, prior to that. So anything you want to see about the MG400 has been covered at great length. So absolutely, you can check that out. Okay, so let's see. There was a question here. Quicksilver had a question about the Yukio chorus. And Chris tried to answer the question. Quicksilver, you get a chance, ask me whatever that question was. I'll see if I can answer it for you. Okay, buddy? Why no CE2? Well, because there's only so much room on a pedal, my friend. There's only so much room we can add in the pedal. We can't do everything. Okay, so Xian wrote, and I'm sorry, this is cutting off here. I can actually fix that. Let me fix that sucker right there to make it look a little nicer. Yeah, how about that? Okay. This might be a little off topic, but any idea if NUX plans to make a big brother to the MG30? Yes, I've been asked this every time I do a live stream. I've been asked about it. We have currently no plans for a bigger version of the MG30. I know people would like to see an MG40, but I don't have anything to really share with you quite just yet on that. But eventually, we might. But for right now, you're just going to have to stay tuned. But at this point, I don't have anything to share with you. Okay, Enrique liked the way they sounded. Great, Enrique. I'm glad you liked the way it sounded. Fantastic. Let's see. Paul Lewick. Look at that. My band Talus opened for Rush. Good for you, dude. That's fantastic. Now, what bands have I seen open for Rush? Let's see. Because my very first concert was Rush. And one of my very last concerts that I went to go see before COVID was Rush. Because I hadn't seen a lot of concerts up to that point. Right around there. And I was just so busy with Pedal Guy. I just didn't have time to go see shows. Actually, I think the very last show I saw was Anderson, Wakeman, Rabin. Which was freaking awesome. Also, not one single woman in the entire audience, I don't think. I saw Steve Hackett at the same place too about 3 months before then, and it was a total sausage fest. Yeah, that's right. I said sausage fest. You can make fun of me for that one if you want to. But let's see. Who did I see open for Rush? See, the very first time was Mr. Big. And that freaked me the hell out because, Paul Gilbert he's the man. And that dude was like on fire. If you ever seen him play, wow, just amazing. And of course, Billy Sheehan at his all-time best. And Eric Martin's voice was right on, spot on at that point. It was just amazing. And let's see, that was a good show at the Irvine Meadows Amphitheater. If anybody's here in California, Irvine Meadows Amphitheater, 1990. That's where I was. Let's see. I saw, who did I see next open for him? Primus. We saw Primus open for them. And that blew my friggin' mind. Because I don't think anybody, I'd been listening to Primus up to that point. But I was just a kid that could barely rub two nickels together. So buying every one of the records was like not really in the cards. Because we used to tape the CDs. You know how bad that was. Woo! That was before Spotify, boys and girls. But in any case, Primus. I saw them open up for Rush on the Sailing the Seas of Cheese tour. That was really cool. But I'd been listening to him before then because my drummer started playing Mr. Know-It-All from her CD player, and we just sat around, and I think collectively all of our jaws just dropped when we heard that. It said, "Holy crap, who is this guy?" And it was Primus, and it was just really cool. And they're still going strong. They did a whole tour of just doing Farewell to Kings from start to finish, if you can imagine that. So if I'm yakking too much, guys, just let me know. But I see people are watching, so hopefully that means that I'm saying something that's interesting to you. Who was the last guy we saw? The last time that they actually had somebody open for them in North America was the Counterparts tour, I think. And they had Candlebox when they came to LA. And I wanted to watch Candlebox like I wanted to be in the dentist chair. So we stayed outside. We didn't check that out. But everything after that, I think, was just 100% them for the tour. So it was like a 3-hour show. A 3-hour show. A 3-hour show. Yeah, okay. You name the movie. Name the TV show, guys. Okay. I'm just going through all of them here. Okay, Shehan, you asked the same question twice, so I won't answer that one. Okay, but here's a good question from Enrique. Right now I'm using a mono speaker, but is in any of the pedals stereo? Yes, all of the mini cores are the new ones. The new mini cores, they're stereo. So yes, they are. You need a TRS cable in order to make it work, but yes, you can use them in stereo if you want to. Now, just to review, in case you happen to miss how you go between mono and stereo, well, you came to the right place, my friends. I'm going to show you how to do it. Check this out, okay? So I'm going to take the old damp reverb out here. Now, we use the easy button as much as we can here, and we tell you straight up, this is how you do it. So to hold the toggle switch to boot up when it's flashing blue, that means it's in mono. When it flashes red, that means it's in stereo. What does that look like? What does that look like, you say? Well, we'll find out. We'll find out today. Okay, so I'm going to hold that sucker down while I plug it in, and you'll see very briefly there is blinking red, which means it is now in stereo mode. So we're now in stereo mode, but obviously we're not working in a stereo environment. So press it down again, and there we go. We're back in mono land, but you can use them in stereo. So I hope that helps you out. Okay, but that's how it works. So yes, you can use these pedals in stereo. Now, as I mentioned, it does require it requires a TRS, a tip ring sleeve cable, and we will have. Let's see, we have something coming in here on my trusty dusty phone. Very cool. Okay, no problem. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. When you run the entire sales for the entire United States, sometimes you're going to get a little distracted, kids. Let's get back to our questions, though, really quick. Okay, we're not seeing any new questions, so we may be closing out pretty early today. Let's get back to it. So there was a question about, Christopher asked a question about any content for the... It's about stereo. The Atlantic does a decent trip? Nope. Okay, here it is. Yes, Christopher asked if they, addressing the stereo question, can you suggest a demo of it in stereo on YouTube maybe? Yes, next week we will have a demo for you. I'm intending to use it with my friend Amiko. She's one of our artists. We're going to be at her studio, if all goes well. And I am going to hang out at her studio, and we're going to check out the NPK-10 piano. But we're going to do a secondary feature where we talk about using the pedals, but the mini core pedals. But I'm going to use them with synthesizers. We're going to use software synthesizers to have a little fun in stereo. So yes, we absolutely will be doing something with stereo very soon here. So hopefully that will help you out there, Chris. Okay, where else do we got here? What else? What other questions? Okay, Chris asked a question on the mini cores in the loop or in the front of the pedal. It's in the loop. Okay. Okay, is there... Oh, here we go. Is there a USB out on the Pulse? Yes, Zella, there is a USB out on the Pulse. Let me go back to the top down here and get this off the board here. Yeah, it's got a Kung Fu grip. All right, there we go. Yep, USB-C right there. And we list all of the bass and the bass cabinets and the acoustic guitar impulse responses. There is an editor you can download from our website, and you can do that. You can do it quite easily. All right. Let's see. What else we got? Let's see. Stars and guitars. Just purchased the Optima Air. I love the preamp and the ability to use fantastic impulse responses. Now I need a really good delay pedal. Well, you might want to check out the Edge Delay. It's a brand new pedal. It just came out. Maybe that'll satisfy the need for a good delay. I can't wait to try it myself. But that's a good one to check out. Okay, Zella said, I love the Steel Singer. Love that pedal. Yep, I love that pedal too. How about that? Quicksilver. The Atlantic is essentially the reverb delay section of the Cerberus. So the mod section can be made into a Verdugo pedal with a bunch of other features, of course. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So it is, lifted from the Cerberus in a pedal form. We sell the bejesus out of Atlantics. It's just like one of those standard pedals that everybody just really, really likes. So it's great. Okay, Chris had Univibe sounds better in front of the distortion is what I meant to say. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. You can use it in front or you can use it behind. It's either way. It's fine. Let's see, Zella, I think I already answered the question, my friend, that does the Pulse have a USB out? Yes, it does have a USB out. And there's an editor you can download. Now, I'm going to finish things off by showing you guys something new, something brand new. I'm going to show you the B3 Plus microphone. Now, where did I put that? There it is. Okay, so this is brand new. This just showed up here in the United States, and we're going to start seeing this soon. Now, if you're a vocalist and you need a wireless solution, this might be a really good one for you because it works great for your it works great for vlogging. It works great for live performances. We give you a little diagram on the back on how to use it, all that great stuff. But what we did is we went the extra mile because we've made the B3 Plus for a long time now. It's not a new product. Okay, but we went the extra mile here, and we have now included a dynamic microphone in the box, and we have not changed the price. It's still $179. This is really cool stuff, guys. I mean, if you're looking for ease of use wireless, look no further. At $179, I challenge you to find something that is as solid as this is as a solution. Let me show you what it's all about, okay? So what I'm going to do is kill off the pedal board here, and I will go to the top down so we can check it out. Okay, so we're going analog here, baby. All right, gonna take the old pedal board off. There we go. Okay, let's go to the top down. Woo! And there it is. That is the B3 Plus mic bundle. So let's take a look at what's in the box. And I'll even bring the camera up just a tad here so we can see it a little cleaner. Have any of you guys actually used the B3? Because this is a really cool product if you haven't. If you need a solution for wireless miking, we really are doing some pretty innovative stuff when it comes to wireless technology. Like the microphone I'm using here, this is the B10 Vlog, and it's amazing for the money. It sounds great. I've never had a single instance of it crap out on me. So it's always been really solid as a product that I've used. And the B3 is more for the handheld guys. So here, you have your manual. Then you've got the microphone. And we'll talk about that in a second. But what I'm going to do is take out the insides here and show you what's going on. So we've got you can hear my, is that a plane or is that that's a plane. Sometimes you can hear the ghetto birds flying around here. The ghetto of Redondo Beach here in California. Sorry about that, but a little dry today, a little dry. Anyway, okay, so it's very easy to use. You've got your transmitter and you've got your receiver. And to access these, all you need to do is just hold down the power switch and automatically they will pair up. And when you see the two halos turn blue, that's all she wrote. And now you're ready to go. So how do we make this all work? You can mute it by hitting that button again, turn it back on, no problem. Or you can press and hold and turn it back off. There's mini USB ports on the side, so you can use these. You can recharge them quite easily. The charging cable is right here. All right. In addition to that, we have our port here, our XLR to tip ring sleeve mini jack port. We also have a mic clip, and of course we have the microphone, and we have a hot shoe, which is a little hard to get out of there, but let me just hold it up there so you can see. We have, there it is. We have a hot shoe there, so you can pop that on top of your DSLR camera. So in order to use this, it's very, very simple and straightforward. Take the transmitter, plug it in, turn it on the receiver, plug that into your mic, plug that into your mixer, and now it works. Now, if you want to hear what it actually sounds like, you're getting into the right place. I'm going to plug that into my mixing board here. I'm going to bring the microphone up, and let's see if we can get a signal. Hello. Well, there is a switch. So if we turn the switch on, let me kill the other microphone. And here you go. So now you can hear the, and let me switch scenes here again. So now you can hear the actual microphone here. Now this is, of course, a dynamic, a pretty easy to use dynamic mic that we've included. And the price hasn't changed at all. So it's still $179 here in the US. And I think the cool thing about the B3 is that it's just very easy to use. And of course, if you're using it with the hot shoe that's included in there, you can just pop it on your DSLR camera, and then you can just use this to do interviews if you want to, or if you're singing live, you can just sing. You can play live, and it's easy to work with it. This is the other thing it does. Let me switch back over here. Okay, switch back over here, and you have 6 channels here. Oh, whoops. Right. So you've got 6 channels here. And it will automatically pair up 6 different units. So if you have like 6 of these on stage, 6 of these transmitters and receivers on stage, it'll automatically pair up with whoever you're trying to hook up on stage. So you can actually have 6 of these running simultaneously without any interference. And you can use this for several hours on a single charge. So it's a new product. It just hit, or it's a new variation on a legacy product. It just hit here in the US. To turn it off, just press and hold the power switch, and boom, there it is. Done. There's an Italian guy I watch who makes pizzas on YouTube, and he always goes boom, 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 voila, whenever he's talking about any of this, whenever he's talking about making the pizza. I like to make a pizza, and this is how we make the pizza. He's in Venice, I think, Venice, California here, and every couple of weeks he'll come out with a new recipe for pizza. And it's one of those amazing things about YouTube. It's like, how many friggin' videos can you honestly make about making pizza? Well, he's made probably several hundred of them at this point, and the guy banks on YouTube. I mean, that's his main bread and butter, is just doing things on YouTube. So during the thick of COVID, his channel was blowing up like crazy. because he was just doing new pizza recipes all the time, which of course I love to make a pizza, you know. Anyway, I think there's a couple of extra questions here. I want to answer them real quick, and then we're going to sign off for the day. Let's see. Don't suppose you know of any new exes, paid promotion YouTube guys or girls like Mike Herman's who may have run stereo demo? No, I don't know anybody who's run a stereo demo on the pedals yet, but we definitely need to do that. But yes, Mike Herman's hasn't done it yet. The pedals just came out, and we probably will be, you know, doing something on that pretty soon, I would think. So yes. Okay. Okay, I think that's about it at this point, guys. We've gone for about an hour and 40 minutes here. If there are any last minute questions, now's the time to ask them. But I have a feeling that we've pretty much answered every question that you could possibly have. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the day. Please be sure to join us next Friday at 2 p.m. Where my special guest will be Amiko, and we'll be talking about the NPK-10. Which is a really fantastic digital piano that we make. Did you know that we made pianos? Yeah, we do. And they sound really nice for the money. It's crazy. We're going to have that. We're going to have her on, and we're also going to use the new mini core pedals in stereo. So I'm going to use them with synthesizers and show you how it all works. So I hope that you will join us next week. It'd be great to see you there. For now, I am the pedal guy. And thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your week and a wonderful weekend. Take care, and we will see you real soon. Thanks so much.